Yellow, 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 yellow. It is Tuesday and it's Tuesday night because we're here to talk about the football. Yes, sir. And Liga Portugal today. And of course, we always talk about the weekend was spectacular. All the round 10 was massive. Spectacular games in the Liga Portugal. But today, Portuguese soccer was at the top of the mountains, man. At the top of the Everest. Heck, man, I'm talking. What's the mountain in Mars? What is the name of that mountain in Mars? I forgot the name of the mountain in Mars. But that one. On top of that one. All right. Nothing more spectacular. What just happened today in the Champions League. And you always hear me saying this. Oh, the almighty Lions. Oh, the almighty. No. Today, they truly beat an almighty team. That's Manchester City. Pep's Guardiola, Manchester City. In a fantastic edition, a fantastic farewell for Ruben Amorim, his last game with his Lions, the architect of this glorious side of Sporting that we haven't seen in. Derek Gomez can tell you how many.
In my lifetime. In my lifetime.
In your life, right?
In my lifetime. Yeah. I'm not exaggerating.
His lifetime. Okay, he might.
I think it's a valid argument. This might be the best Sporting run ever. I know they had their Petra back in the 50s, but
we can compare
this is
with
completely
the sync
right. The violins, yeah, exactly.
The five violins. I mean, where they won 7 out of 8. I mean,
right.
They won
in this day and age. I think it's even more.
The cinco violin might have a word.
That was 70 years ago.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all
when
good.
They played like 20 games to win a title back then. It's like 10 teams in the division.
Yeah,
it was fantastic. Just keep those victories coming for Portuguese soccer, right? Keep the Benfica's fantastic run in the Champions League, Porto also, Braga winning, Vitória Guimarães. I want just all the Portuguese teams that succeed in Europe because it's about that time, brother. It's about that time. It's been 20 years since the last 20, right? Is it 2020? Yeah, 20 years, right? Yeah. 2004 was the 04, was it?
In the Champions League.
Was it 03 when Porto beat Monaco?
03, 04.
04, right?
04.
And then we went into the Euro.
03 was Madrid, but that
right after.
And then I want to remind everybody, the year after that, though, Sporting went to the final of the Europa League, and they lost at home.
Yeah.
My God. Welcome, everybody. This is Tuga Tuesday. We are the crazy boys that love to talk about Portuguese soccer, and of course, Derek Gomez, Mike D'Agostino. I was going to give you 30 seconds, Mikey, but let me. I mean, the guy, he's walking on water right now, Mr. Derek Gomez.
Yeah. I guess we can start with Estrela because we're talking about this last round of the Portuguese league. With Estrela, I was surprised how they came out. Estrela came out with a high press. And they basically high pressed us the entire game. And I think that in that first half, Sporting did look a little uncomfortable. I think that, taking into account the strangeness of the night, with, Ruben definitely going, there was definitely a different tone, I would say, in the stadium. But I do think that Sporting was fully expecting Estrela to, park the bus, especially coming to the Alvalade. But they actually went out there and high pressed, and they gave Sporting some problems. Sporting did look a little uncomfortable at the beginning. Estrela scored 1 goal. They should have certainly scored a second. Whereas on the rebound, the guy their striker just missed an open net. So it was a pretty scary first half, an uneven first half. But it's when you high press, what you leave, at the back, you do leave your defense exposed. Their midfielders were pushing up. So the defenders were caught in these 1v1 situations. And that's exactly what Victor wants. So that's essentially, and that was essentially the difference in the game. Victor scoring the 4 goals. But it was good to see some old Sporting friends. I thought Jovan Cabral actually played pretty well for Estrela, and Rodrigo Pinho had a really good game for Estrela. Yeah, a really good game. He's got a good. He has skills for number 9.
And we'll talk about that with Mikey, in a second about that with his fun in BENFICA.
Yeah. I thought Nani had no impact. And Alan
He's not have any impact in the season. Yeah. We'll talk about that guy in a second.
He was playing in the TST a few months ago. Come on.
Mike D'Agostino. Mike D'Agostino, tell me about that time. I'm not going to say he went cold because he didn't go cold, right? But he wasn't spectacular, Mr. Atucolo, on this match, and BENFICA.
But nobody was spectacular. It was a bad game from start to finish. I mean, these games do happen. It is concerning because I think going into Munich tomorrow, I expect nothing. I mean, I'm expecting to come home, with. It wouldn't shock me to lose 5-0 tomorrow, because when we go to Bayern, that's. With the Clásico this week, this is a bad time for all of these things to come together.
Bad timing.
It's a really bad time for all these things to come together. And the momentum really was killed with that match that was called off because of the fog, that they could have played 10 minutes later because it had cleared right after they called it. But it is what it is. This is the circus that is the Farmers League that we all love and watch. It is what it is. But they didn't play well. At the end of the day, they didn't play well. They went from coming out of the back with a 3 to coming out with 4 again, and that tucked Mr. Artuglu in a little bit further away from the flank. He wasn't starting as wide as he had been, and the opportunities never really came up. The 2 goals came against the run of play in a counterattack and in a quick transition. The only positive is Pavlidis getting on the score sheet again. I'm going to say again because he had 2 last Wednesday, and he had 2 at Wembley as well, if I'm not mistaken. So psychologically, I know that's not the league, but psychologically that was big to get those goals in that League Cup game to then go into this league game and get himself a goal. But I've got questions about Anatoly Trubin in goal. I mean, ever since that 5-0 at the Dragon last year, he has not been the same goalkeeper. He's getting beat to that near post all the time. And everything close to him, is going in. I know he's tall, but I'm sorry. If this was Vlaco Dimos in goal, the internet would be on fire wanting to kill the guy. And now Trubin doesn't get the same scrutiny. But for me, it's starting to get on my nerves, the kind of goals he's given up.
And you're facing the Dragons.
Oh, yeah, on Sunday.
The Dragons coming up. They were not on fire. They're Dragons, they're strikers. But anyone else scored, and they put 4. You guys put 3 or 4. Mike, I forgot. It's 3, right? Was it 3?
What if Fares? Just 2?
Yeah.
No, it's 2-1.
2-1.
2-1, right?
And if the game had been 5 more minutes, I think it could have finished 2-2.
I know. It was so scary.
They were pushing.
Yeah,
it was so scary.
They were pushing, and that's a bad Fares team. And they were pushing, and they were putting Benfica on the ropes. And more mistakes from Nicolas Otamendi. I don't know. I think the rumors of River Plate, I think, are real, and I think it won't shock me if he leaves in January. Which is not good for the locker room for the captain to leave mid-season. But this is the Benfica we have right now. Everything it turns over quickly. Derek's team here is keeping their coach right to the last minute, keeping their players. No matter how many times Fabrizio tweets, Gyökeres is still wearing a Sporting kit. All it takes is one tweet for a Benfica player, and all of a sudden everybody comes in because the team doesn't have I'm coming to realization the club doesn't have a backbone to hold on to anybody. I think the financial situation is much worse than they're leading on because they are taking offers every time they come in. So I'm concerned about the week ahead. So hopefully I'll have a different tune next Tuesday, but I'm not expecting it.
It's a pivotal game.
But
yeah.
No, Mike. I think you're playing you're playing this because you just wanna put this vibe out there but when you get the good result, oh man,
No,
it's
but listen,
different, right? You get overexcited.
I mean, the last two of the last 3 games have been
I know.
really poor. The Feyenoord game and now this game against Ferenc were really poor. So we're trending in the wrong direction right now.
We'll see what happens on Sunday.
Don't be too into this. Yeah, I know.
I don't think there's a Portuguese soccer fan that likes him because all he does is advertise all of our players to leave.
Yeah,
It's unreal. And
yeah.
and, you know, what did you post? What was it? You posted something, right, Mikey, on Friday? Like Joker scored, right?
What was that? I always post when he scores.
No, but I posted it. You posted it. You replied to me. And I said,
and then I put him in it. Yeah.
Mikey. That was so low for you, Mikey.
Been working at this for 18 months. It's not working.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think that you work with Romano, man. You tell me, you got your cut from Fabrizio Romano.
If I did, he'd fire me because he's ghosting me. So.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So this is non-Liga Portugal related, but it's my team. As you can tell, hold on a second. Let me stand up here.
Yeah, you're wearing the shirt there. I see it.
This is the 100-year anniversary of Universitario de Deportes. This year, August 9, 1924, my team was founded, and we won the championship. We won the championship on Sunday. And you know what was the best? That we and Alianza Lima, which is the other team from Peru, the other big team, right? The other big team from Peru, and we were tying points. All we gotta do is win, right? If we win 1-0, it was game over, right? Because we got the goal differential +6. So Alianza had to score 6 goals in the last game of the season against one of the toughest teams in the nation. 80 minutes, and we were 0-0. 0-0. And then we got the scores at the same time, right? And then, boom, Alianza 1, Alianza 2. They lost their game at home, and we won the championship.
Look at that.
It was just fantastic. Fantastic. Yeah. I want to share you one more detail, I guess. Hold on a second. Hold on. Wait.
Nino.
Nice.
There you go, brother.
Fantastic.
That's for my 50th birthday. For my 50th birthday, my brother got it.
There you go.
Awesome.
All good. I'm so happy. I'm so pumped. I'm still celebrating. I'm still celebrating for my beloved Universitario de Deportes. So back to the league. Back to the business here in our beloved Liga Portugal.
Yep.
Mikey, so 7 goals in 2 games, man.
Yeah.
7 goals in 2 games from Djokovic.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you, man. I can't explain this. He's the best scorer in the planet right now.
Yep.
And there's no doubt because he has more goals than anyone else in the planet right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's 23 goals in all competitions.
Yeah.
And it's November 5th.
And,
it's November. Yeah. We're not even at Christmas yet. So
no.
Yeah, this is just these are freakish numbers right now. And judging by the exorbitant amount of money that some of these clubs pay for, players that I feel are just average, average, like below par.
Yeah.
I find it almost hard to believe that he's not going to go at the end of the year. If he continues at this rate, it'd be impossible for him to stay. I don't see how he would stay. He showed it last year. He's even improved this year.
Yeah, he's deadlier this year.
He's deadlier this year.
Oh yeah.
I think he legitimately did have a meniscus issue, like for the majority of last season, and he still scored 43 goals. Now that's cleared up, and he is just on a tear. I mean, I'd find it very hard to believe if no one goes and picks him up at the end of the season. Because I mean, again, I see players go for 80, 90, 100 million in these clubs, and then you see these players play, and they're really not living up to that price tag.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, again, I think Enzo's a great player, but has he lived up to that price tag at Chelsea?
Oh, not at all.
That's just one example right there. So I can't see why a team wouldn't want to give this a chance here. He's a proven bona fide goal.
I was gonna say, and he's proven. He's 26 years old. He's in the prime of his career. He can adjust better now than he will at any other point in his career to a bigger league and a bigger team.
And now players are productive for a longer period of time.
Yeah.
So you could still get 4 or 5 productive years out of Victor.
Oh, absolutely. At the top level.
So yeah, I mean, it'd be really, really hard for Sporting to hang on to him.
He reminds me of Jardel back in the 90s.
Yes.
Yeah, I think he's a different kind of player, though.
But I just mean the deadliness and the
deadliness, yeah.
The clip at which he scores goals.
Yeah, it is.
And the ratio,
it's at a very deadly clip.
To completely transform a team, from a good team to a really,
I mean,
beats Man City 4-1. I mean,
the productive year that Jardel had with Sporting, he was the sole reason we won the championship.
Yeah, and his years at Porto were the same. He was just on a fire.
Yeah, he was the X factor. He was he was the difference. So Victor is proving to be the difference here. And going back, Estrella, played with that high line. He was in those 1v1 situations, and it was just that's what he lives for. I know your old buddy Farrow had a nightmare on Elm Street kind of game.
I saw. I know.
Yeah, I don't think he wants. I don't think he wants to relive that.
No.
And then even today, against some of the best defenders in the world, he just kept on coming at him. He was a constant threat against what me and Nino were talking about. What I believe since Guardiola's year 2 has been the best club team in the world. So I think he made a major statement today. Everyone watches Manchester City play. Yeah. So that means everyone watched what he did today. So he's going to be on radars. I mean, yeah, it's sort of like Ruben. I talked to Nino about it.
Yes.
It was for me, for Ruben. It was never a matter of if. It was always a matter of when. And I think it's the same case here with Victor. It's not a matter of if it will. It's a matter of when he'll finally.
And how many trophies you can amass between now and then, because
I mean,
you could take them all this year.
We have to go for it this year.
Yeah.
We have to go. And like I don't know if I said last week, but I think whoever comes in for Sporting, and I'm pretty sure the Barandas they're gonna be. Really careful about who's gonna bring in to drive this stunning, beautiful, and gorgeous yacht, man, that you have. Okay, this is a racing yacht that you having. Okay, so you gotta bring a captain that it's not like you need a captain that needs to be on every aspect. It's gonna be more like an organizer, right? Like a guy just move the pieces, just let it flow, because this machine is flowing by itself.
Yeah,
I don't think it's going to be so hard for a coach to come to Sporting and ruin it. I don't think.
Well, it's going to be João Pereira.
It's going to. I was going to say.
I mean, Yilman basically announced it without announcing it at the press conference.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just a matter of time. He's going to take over on November 11th, and I do think that going to your point, I don't see him changing anything. They're going to maintain their system. They're going to maintain their personnel. But the big difference here is, will he be able to motivate the way that Ruben motivated these players? And will he be able to, prepare for matches the way Ruben prepared for matches? Because I think that was one of Ruben's great strengths. He's excellent at match preparation, and studying the opponents, and finding ways to win. Like today was a perfect example of that. The
They
Sporting
only
played
go.
the game that they had to play against Manchester City.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the big question. Will he be able to, prepare the team as well as Ruben did heading into these matches? But I don't foresee him changing the system. I don't foresee him changing the personnel.
Not while the pieces are all there. Yeah.
It's going to come down to the psychology of it. Can you motivate these guys the way Ruben did? Can you prepare these guys the way Ruben did? That's the $64 million question that we're going to find out. We're going to find out very shortly. It's coming.
Very soon.
It's coming
Very
quick.
soon.
Ruben has one game left, and that's it.
I'm sorry. So this was. Is he gonna be next week? This weekend? No, he's
Yes.
gone, right?
Yes.
Yeah. No.
One more.
He'll
He leaves on.
coaching
He
Braga.
leaves on the international break.
He's coaching.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This was
makes
his
sense.
last. This was his last game at the Alvalade.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So it was a nice homage. It was a nice homage to him.
I gotta say that
Braga's last
that's
game.
great work by your president, by the way, to hold on to him until the international break when there's actually time for a new manager to take over.
Perfect
to
timing.
get into
United was trying to bully.
I know.
Their way
And
in.
the Premier League is used to getting their way when they do
Getting
that.
what they want.
You have to give credit.
I think that the club has advised Ruben. I like what they're doing at the press conferences. I think the club has advised Ruben.
That was really good yesterday.
To reply
Yes.
in Portuguese. Reply in Portuguese. Don't let these guys come in here.
That was well done.
No. This is my place, baby.
These guys.
This is my house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's their manager next week. He's not their manager now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
No, I think that. I think
Yeah.
Fernandes deserves a ton of credit for hanging on to him.
Yeah.
Through this break.
Superiority.
This result today probably doesn't happen without him. So I mean, at least not as convincing. Everything aligned perfectly. So even as a rival, you have to give credit to that. That is a president that's got a backbone and that has some steel that can stay true to his convictions and hold on to. Make a reasonable deal, and they did it. They pulled it off. So that's that tip of the hat.
Yes, sir. So I'm going with Mr. Benfica with Mikey. He was laughing because he was sending messages through throughout the game, and he always does. We always talk.
Yeah, I thought
he's like
Mauricio.
I don't know what you messaged me, but I don't know if you heard me. Probably you heard me saying this, right? Benfica is counter-attack friendly today. Counter-attack friendly today. It was just, I mean, every single time that they lose the ball at Farense's half, it was so easy for them to run the counterattacks.
Yeah, it was again.
What was that, Mikey? What do you think was that?
Oh, there was disconnect and the carelessness and just letting. I don't know if they went in they shouldn't be overconfident right now. The momentum is completely out of the balloon. The air's out of the balloon a little bit, and the momentum's dying down. And you have to be even more sharp. And when your top guys, when your Otamendi's are not sharp, and you got a striker who's struggling to score, and you've got a midfield that's not really gelling the way it was, and Tino is in, then Tino's out, and then it's. You want him to play at Bayern Munich, but you want him to sit for 3 weeks before that doesn't work either. You can't. So he's got to play, which changes the dynamic that was working with Auschwitz and with Kokshu in the center of the park, doing the double pivot. You were getting Di Maria and Artuglu really wide, and then you were also getting the two attacking wingbacks. You lose Ba again, and again, that it's the same old story. I don't know how many times I've said Ba goes down, and here goes Auschwitz again out to the right, and here we go again because the club can't get a legitimate right back substitute. You're going to need one. Ba cannot get through more than a month or two without an injury. It's been proven the whole time that they've had him, and they were having difficulties of building out of the back with him, so they came up with that, shifting to that 3, tucking Carreras in with the 2 center back and getting Ba further up so that he doesn't have to come, receive the ball in pressure. But now he's not going to dress tomorrow. I hope it's just a precaution for Sunday, but I doubt it. When he goes down, he usually goes down for a couple weeks at the very least. And it's just the whole system breaks down, and they gotta start over, and it starts in this game. They got the lead, and I thought they were gonna relax after that and start creating chances, and this was gonna end 3 or 4-1. And within 10 minutes, they said, "Okay, today's not our day. Let's hold the ball for the next 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and see if we can run out the clock against the last place team." And that's just not a good formula against the last place team. There's some real issues there. However, they won't be under the same duress to go after a team so bunkered in these next matches. That's the only good thing about playing Bayern and playing Porto, is you don't have to worry about creating a goal in the buildup the way you do against a Farense or a Rio Ave that just sit in, and then you've got to somehow pass through 10 guys that are crammed into a 20-yard space. So I expect a more open game these next two, and maybe it'll suit Benfica's strengths better to win the ball in some high areas from a team that's actually going to try to come out of their back and not just give it to Benfica, bunker in, and force Benfica to find the passing lanes. So, but yeah, it was a game to forget, but the result was there. The 3 points is the most important at the end of the day, because dropping any points before playing Porto would have been sayonara to the title right there in November. So. At least now there's a chance to go get something.
And I was saying that during the game, too. Yeah, I was saying that during the game that these are this season more than ever is the season that you cannot concede these type of points. All right, because it's right there. You were on the verge to lose those 2 points in Algarve.
Oh yeah.
Well, I don't know what to tell you if you lose those, because you already played. You're gonna be.
It's not even the title. Porto's going to get too far away if we drop points.
Yeah.
Now imagine it's a 1. It ends up 2-2, and then lose to Porto next week, and that's 5 points dropped in 2 weeks again, and even second place is unlikely at that point. So getting the winner was huge, and part of being successful sometimes is getting the points and getting the wins when you don't play well. So hopefully that was a game that won't repeat itself, but we'll find out in the next 4 or 5 days or so.
Mr. Gomez, Mr. Derek Gomez, is this, you've been talking about Victor Gyökeres, right? That have been better than last season. And since he returned from injury, who's better than last season too? Pochi. He's. I mean, I think he's faster. I think he's faster now with the ball. With every time he runs from the left wing. He makes the channels even going faster. The flow with Pochi is faster. It's faster. Yeah. You got a faster player out of injury.
Yeah. And I think Porte is still working back to 100%. I think today he took another step. He made the assist to Maxi's goal today. It was a nice goal, brilliant first touch that brought him away from the defender. He was able to penetrate in, and then Maxi made a nice cross run. It was a really nice goal, and to score in the first minute of that second half really just sort of shell-shocked City, which is not that easy to do. But yeah, you saw in the last game too with the Strela, he's still not the Pot of the beginning of the season, where he got off to a rip-roaring start. But again, today was another step towards that. And once he gets back to that 100%, that is a very formidable front three. Because Trincão, this is the best version of Trincão we've ever seen. I thought today he was great again. When you have Trincão and you got Pot on all cylinders, and then you got Gyökeres, it's a very tough front three, especially for the Portuguese league. So right now it's just a period of getting Pots back to the early season Pots. That being said, we do have the international break coming up after this week, so they'll help him get back to full fitness heading back after that break. So I'm very optimistic about that. Another guy I'm really optimistic about is Maxi Araujo, who has scored in
That
back-to-back
was
games.
my next question, brother.
Yeah, he
That
scored
was my next
scored
question.
against Australia, scored today against Manchester City. So he's making the most of his opportunity right now with Nuno Santos being out. He's right now he's beating Jenny, for that spot there on the left. So it'll be interesting to see if João Pereira maintains Maxi there, but he's certainly playing and winning his spot. So there are a lot of positives. Mateus Reis, again, now he's at full fitness. He came today and played really great against Manchester City. One of the most unsung heroes on this team. And he has the versatility that because he's a natural left back. But he does in this back three system, he really does help support that defense. So I was really impressed with him today too. I thought Diomande was really impressive today. So there's a lot of things to be optimistic about. If you're a Sporting fan, it's just going back to what I touched upon earlier. It's just can João Pereira motivate these guys the way that Ruben did. But I couldn't be more happier, with this squad right now and the way that they're playing. And today was just the culmination of all that. We'll see what happens. Braga, if we beat Braga, we'll match that. That'll be our club record for the second time ever that we won the first 11 games this season.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So that'll be very interesting. Actually, my first year as a fan was that year that we won 11 straight. That's why I'm a Sporting fan, because my old man and my grandfather were Belenenses fans, and I wasn't going to follow Belenenses. Right.
That was a good decision.
But I was a little kid. They won 11 in a row. I'm like, wow, this is the greatest team ever. And little did I know.
You fall in love with your team, man.
Yeah, little did I know that they were a perennial third place team. But yeah,
Mikey, what I found out over the weekend, man, when I was calling the game,
What's that?
BENFICA's game, that there's a lot of people out there that they have faith in Pavlidis, huh? Because I was saying this, right? Because
it's very bipolar. You either believe in him or you want him already, on the bench rotting and on the next transfer list out. But no, he still does a lot of things well, and he's been crucial in opening space for example, for Arturkoglu. His name, still not used to saying that name. He has been, and he's good in applying pressure. When the press is working, he's a big part of it, and his work rate is just double most of the other guys on the pitch. So maybe it's even too high, and that's why he's not in position to be there to get those opportunities to score goals, because a lot of times he likes to make his runs out to the right and to the left and open that space for one of the wingers to come into the center and get to it. But I would like to see another forward paired up with him so that all the attention is not on him, and either that other forward is going to be open all the time or he's going to get more opportunities. But these coaches now seem so fixed in their models and in their systems, and they don't adjust that often, unless of course you're playing Manchester City or Bayern Munich, and you realize the disparity in the level, and then you do. But a lot of times they just want to continue to do things the same way and just keep driving home the same points and hope that eventually it's going to work. But I would like to see how Pavlidis would play with either a striker or a true 10 next to him. Or behind him, I should say. I know that, but I'm just saying I'd like to see them create something and get somebody in here. But what?
Right. So I mean that could be. Because in the assist that Arturkoglu does for I don't know who scored the goal. Was Pavlidis? Wasn't it or not?
Pavlidis had the second. The first was
who scored the first goal? Was the assist from Arturkoglu, but I forgot who. Hold on a second.
It's getting to be late. Fernandez. It was Carreras.
Yeah, Carreras.
Yeah.
Yeah, he scored the
Yeah.
first goal.
He got 5 players on him.
Yeah.
He got 5 players on at the goal, and he boom.
Yeah.
To the left, boom, wide open,
He's-
wide open. I mean, because everybody was
He's on
focused on
players.
Arturo,
He's on
and
everyone's
Alvaro
radar.
Carreras enters.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm right here, baby. Just give it to me.
Yeah, he's a notch above the rest of the team, I think, in quality right now. Well, obviously Di Maria, but Di Maria is at the tail end of his career. But Artur right now is I think a good head above everybody else in form and in natural ability. I think he's immensely talented, and now it's just coming together and how he fits in the team and how the opponents prepare for him, because it is going to get more difficult. Sometimes these guys come in, they score 2-3 goals a game for a while, and then teams catch on and they adjust, especially the Portuguese teams that like to bunker in. They're very good at studying the big three and studying the top players and figuring out how to slow them down and make life a little bit more difficult for him. So I don't foresee him scoring at the same rate he's done up till now, but I also, he has to get on the score sheet. Now he got an assist. If he's getting assists and Benfica's winning, that's fine. I don't care if he scores the goal or he gets the assist. At the end of the day, the ball goes in the net. It counts the same. Same goes for Pavlidis. I always defended Darwin Nunez when he wasn't scoring in his first season and he was getting assist after assist, and people say, "Oh, he's not a true striker." And it's like, yeah, but we're scoring the goal anyway. Give him time. Yeah. And the next season he blew up and he was gone. So
and it was
maybe it's even better to get the assists. Maybe we have a better chance of holding these players if they get assists instead of goals. I don't know.
Mikey, that first season, Darwin, he I don't know how many posts he hit. Man.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Like, I don't know how many goals he could have.
And that's why he started passing them off. He started dishing them off in front of goal and letting somebody else score. That's the hitting the post a few times, especially when you're young like he was in a new country. It's gonna affect your confidence and change your decision making a little bit. But in the end, if the ball goes in the net, it doesn't matter who scores the goal. But again, the ball's got to go in more than twice against the last place team.
What's Mauricio, my boy Mauricio Ruano?
That's a good question. That's a good question. And
Otamendi to the bench for Araujo and Silva at center back. Otamendi's up and down this year.
If Antonio Silva had been playing better, the last 6 months of him have not been good. I would be more confident doing that. But if they're both going to be struggling right now, I'd take the experienced guy because the pressure is so high. Right now. Yeah. Antonio's not in a good place right now mentally, and he does have to play his way out of it. I've always said I wouldn't mind seeing a back three, but that's not in Benfica's DNA. That's the fans will revolt immediately because they see a back three as a back five, and they say it's too defensive. And there's no breaking down that mental wall in fans' minds when they see that. Unless unless you're playing Bayern Munich or you're playing Real Madrid. But in the Portuguese league, there's just no there's not even tolerance for having a Florentino on the field in the Portuguese league because they say we don't need a defensive midfielder, regardless with the amount of balance he can provide. But people want to see everything going forward.
You need that.
And you absolutely need that balance. But you can't convince people who are fanatical and like to see the game a certain way.
This is not the FIFA that you play in PlayStation.
No, but I think that there's a lot of that. I do think that people's video game habits come into the way they watch the real game being played. Because they even use the terms. They say the cam and the CDM, and they use the terms and everything. Yeah.
Wow.
So and the RCD and the LCD, and it's like, but
that's insane.
Yeah. I mean, again, the next 2 games especially are going to really test this team. Tomorrow I'm kind of throwing away because if I have, and people don't like to hear this, but if I've got to, pick, Sunday is far more important. This Champions League format, if anything, is very forgiving. You just got to come in the top 24, at least, financially speaking. Yeah, that's look, Real Madrid's in 17th place. Bayern Munich's got 3 points right now. I mean, the big teams obviously are not losing.
They know they're going to get in.
And then the tournament starts for real.
Yeah, my Rosoneros won today. They beat Madrid today.
They did. They played great. They played great today.
Yeah. Now, Mikey, you're not happy with Trubin, right?
It's not so much that I'm not because there's nobody else, so it's not like I want to see him dropped. But he is giving up more goals and not really the quality goals that I expect from a goalkeeper that was, so hyped up, especially when the last goalkeeper was chased out over one bad game, and and this guy came in because he can use his feet. That's great, but the goals he's given up this season, Vlachodimos between the pipes was showing to be better than Truban is at shot stopping. Maybe Truban does a lot of other things. I think he commands the box better. He's better on crosses, but at sheer shot stopping, Truban's given up goals that Vlachodimos didn't give up very often. He put himself in front of the ball and he kept it out of the net. I mean, it was but
I just think I think Vlachodimos.
I was going that way because I was gonna go with Mikey with Derek.
Yeah.
And, because I was so impressed with Franco Israel today.
Yeah.
After conceding that goal.
Because
the goal that he conceded was all him. All of him.
Yeah.
I mean, it was. I know it was like the kind of attack. But he gave that goal away. He gave it away, but then he recovered.
He recovered, absolutely.
And he himself together, and he was like, "All right, this is Manchester City. This is my house, baby. This is my house. I am under the pipe."
No, it was great recovery. Yeah. I know at the end of last season, I felt that he had done enough to at least have a goalkeeping competition.
Yeah, I agree.
With whoever they brought in. I didn't agree with the fact that Sporting just gave the keys to the castle to Kovacevic. And they quickly saw that they may have made a big mistake here. And Franco Israel seized the opportunity when Kovacevic went down. But right now, there's zero doubt about it that Franco Israel is the top keeper for Sporting. And I'm happy he won the job. He won the job.
Mm-hmm.
I think it should have been a competition right from the get-go. But they brought in Kovacevic. They said, "Hey, you're the starter." We saw a lot of shaky moments in those first few weeks. And then when he went down with an injury, Franco went in there and you saw the disparity. And he made his case. And he's won that spot. And for the foreseeable future, he's going to be Sporting's number one. And the way that he's been playing, I feel good about it. I feel good about having Franco in there. I do. Yeah, he's won me over totally. He has.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah.
He's good with his feet, and he's an excellent shot stopper.
Mm-hmm.
He's becoming more and more confident with his feet. So and he's young. So I think there's margin of progression there. So I'm happy right now with the goalkeeping situation.
Mikey, Mikey, look at Mr. Gomez. Look at Mr. Gomez. He's still kind of shocked, right?
He's got the smile.
There's still a glow.
You see some sadness behind that smile, man. Because
he's living history right now. I totally get it.
Yeah. I mean,
he's told you how long he's been a supporter, and he's finally seeing what he's been hoping for.
Yeah. This is going to rank as one of the biggest wins that I've ever seen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I bet. And back from the days when I used to call your team the Frankenstein of the Primera Liga.
Oh my God! It's all because of Ruben.
Because they were on the top of the hill the 1 week, and then the next week we're like, who are these guys?
Yeah.
Right?
All because
I remember that 2019, 2020 season with poor freaking Bruno Fernandes was doing everything.
I got a lot of shit from my friends that season too. They said they kept on saying, "Well, God, you're so lucky you have Bruno. If you didn't have Bruno, you'd be a mid-table team." We get rid of Bruno, and the next year we win the championship. So,
how funny is it that that's the exact situation Ruben's walking into at Old Trafford?
Yeah. He is. I mean, in my humble opinion, though, I think turning Sporting around is like it's like Disney World.
That's a badge. That's a badge you can wear for the rest of your life.
Yeah. I think that this United is much more of a challenge than turning Sporting around. So at least with Sporting, you knew that on the weekend you're going to play Desportivo Chaves. You're going to play Rio Ave. You're going to play Nacional. You're not gonna get that in the Premier League. Every team is tough. Every team is tough.
Every single one of them.
There are no
gimmies.
This is a Herculean challenge right now, man. This will. I mean, if he can pull this off, then
he'll
forever
if he turns this Man United team around, he passes Mourinho, I think.
This is Mount Everest. I can't think of a bigger challenge in world football.
It's huge. It's a huge challenge. Guardiola wouldn't take that challenge. You know, he wouldn't accept that.
You got to think about the world-class coaches that are brought in, and they all failed. I mean, Van Gaal, you saw what Van Gaal did. That 95 Ajax team we've been talking about, that was a freaking dream team. You know, there was a lightning bolt that came out of nowhere. In Van Gaal, you know, the success that he had, with Barcelona as well. Then you had Jose Mourinho, a Champions League winner. And now you had Ten Hag, and when they got Ten Hag, I thought he was going to be good. I thought it was great.
Me too.
Ajax is playing tremendous football. So I thought that he was the best coach out there, and he failed. So I don't know. I'd love to see Ruben succeed, but I don't know. This is a massive challenge.
Well, I think if he gets as much time as Ten Hag got, I think he's going to put them in a better place than they're in now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, 5th, 6th, 4th, fighting for that last 4th spot to get into champion. I don't know, but if he gets that kind of time, I don't doubt, and he gets some of his kind of players in there, then you can start to change the culture and start to improve.
Now this is like a new life for Manu.
Yeah.
You know that, he likes Manu, so Manu's going to be. He's going to run the same system. You know, it's going to be a 3-4-3.
Yeah,
so I'm curious to see. I think that Bruno is going to be his new post. You can play. He can play Bruno on the wing. I can see him doing that. I can see him also playing him back. You know, to make that duo with Manu in the middle. Because Bruno does have that kind of versatility where he could do this. This is it's going to be really interesting to see. Nothing compares to the massive challenge.
So when Amorim arrived to Sporting, was Bruno still there the first season? No, right? He was gone, right?
He was already gone. Yeah, he was already gone.
He was gone, right?
Because Bruno left in January and he came in March.
After the League Cup.
He came in March.
He won the League Cup with Braga and then went to Sporting. Kind of very similar to how he's leaving this time. He stayed for like 2 weeks to finish the League Cup and won it. And then,
But I mean, I get in the press conference, he did state that this was going to be his last year. At Sporting, he was clear about that, and I believe him. I think he's being transparent about it. Like, this was going to be it. This is going to be the end of the cycle. And I guess United gave him an ultimatum that this is now or never. Because ideally he wanted to wait until the summer. They weren't. But United States never, and he just felt that this was a job he could not pass up. But I mean, he has to understand. I'm sure he does. This is a massive challenge, man.
It is.
I don't.
It's like Xabi Alonso taking Bayern Leverkusen and then turning around and winning the Bundesliga.
No, Mikey, because Leverkusen is now.
But they have no history of winning the Bundesliga.
If it was Bayern Munich, then we'll talk the same thing.
But I'm saying the challenge is huge, because who would have put money on Bayer Leverkusen last year to win the Bundesliga at the beginning? Nobody.
No one. But
he took on a risk. It's almost risky, because if you fail, you're left looking a certain way, and the next job offer is going to be a different kind of job offer if you fail. And I think he's kind of in the same boat in that regard.
But Leverkusen is right here, and
I think there's a lot more pressure.
That's a lot more pressure.
There's a lot more
pressure. But
United's just it's a global team.
It is, and it's underperformed for 15 years now.
And it's hard. I can't wrap my head around it. But right now, if they do finish 4th, it's great for them.
It's almost like winning for them at this point.
I can't believe I'm saying that, because I mean, I grew up in the Ferguson era, where they finished 2nd place. It was a disappointment.
They are City,
yeah.
what City was 20 years ago. They've
Yeah.
completely flipped roles.
They have,
Man.
they've completely reversed roles. They
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
have.
Yeah, they're the city now. They're the city.
They're the City now. Yeah,
They're the red city now.
They're
huh?
the noisy
Red
neighbor
city.
now.
they're the underachievers. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Mikey, talking about coaches, right? We were talking about all these
Mhm.
coaches challenges and all that. Eh, remind me of, because I'm not so versed in the term of Benfica's history, and about the coaches returning for the second time.
It's not good.
The returns, right? Talk
Yeah.
about the returns.
Yeah.
Jorge Jesus clearly wasn't
Nope.
the best episode of the returns.
No.
So how I mean, how do you think is going to be the impact of Bruno Lage on his second stint with Benfica after he won the championships before he left, and then the second season wasn't great, but now he's been brought back to bring Benfica's back to the top again, and it's a challenge. It's a huge challenge for Lage. But how do you feel about these returns? About the returns?
I don't like returns. I said this. I didn't, as a fan of Bruno Lage, I didn't think this was the right job for him to come back to this. But at the same time, there was not. It's not like the door was being knocked down by any other managers either to take this job. But no, the history of Benfica and taking coaches back is not good. Otto Gloria, Bella Gutmann, they all came back a second time and it never went well. Sven Goran Eriksson had a good second one, but not as good as the first. Jorge Jesus was a disaster. I don't know how many times Tony has coached Benfica, but the first was the best. Was the best run. He took them to the European Cup final. Yeah. It's doesn't typically go well, and I didn't think this was but obviously they couldn't go get the Marco Silva that they wanted, or they could. I know they thought they could get him, or they were waiting to see if maybe a Paulo Fonseca would become available and get sacked, or a number of other names that were floated out there, Portuguese coaches on the periphery of Europe. But nobody, this job it's not a good time to take this job. It's the team, you're already in the hole 5 points before you even start. And like we've said we can see that this season, there's going to be very few points dropped outside of the direct matches between the top four, we'll say. Even include Vitória Guimarães, say top 5. Sure. But it's going to, Sporting's on pace for 100 points, for crying out loud, right now, for 103 points, perfect season. But realistically, it's going to take 90 points, I think, this year to win the league, because of just there's the smaller teams are getting less and less capable of taking points from the big teams, and they're retreating into more and more pragmatic ways of trying to do it. And
let's park the bus, guys. Let's park the bus.
It's even like beyond that now. It's let's not lose by more than 2 or 3. It seems to be the mentality in a lot of these games. So yeah, it was a tough job from the start, and the transfer window was closed already when he came in. Again, the timing was not done well by Benfica, whereas Sporting's timing is very good. They held their coach until the international break and gave time. They should have let Roger go before the transfer window was closed, in order to get some transfers in for Bruno Lage. They didn't do that. They stuck with them, and then 2 weeks later, because of a couple bad results, they blew it up. And so he comes in. He doesn't have. He's lucky Artur Kuglu was picked up in the very last minute, because I think without him, we've already have dropped some points, and it's a 3rd place season already guaranteed without him. So I don't put too much on him right now, because they haven't given him any players yet. They brought in Kobare, who's seems like a complete bust. Renato Sanchez doesn't look like it's gonna work. It seems like this model of taking guys on loan from Manchester City and from PSG is not working. All we get is injured players who can't.
Bernat was an example too. Yeah.
Right, Bernat and Draxler. It's now becoming a theme every year of taking on these players on loan, and they just don't help at all. They're just another body taking the spot of maybe somebody else.
It worked out for us. It worked out for us.
Yeah.
Pablito Sarabia.
That's right.
Oh, Pablito, yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the only one. The only one.
It hasn't worked for Benfica, and
Yeah.
you know, they're in the situation they're in, and it seems like he's trying to force Renato Sanchez to see if he can get something out of him, and it's not resulting. And if it's not going to result against Farense, I mean, why are we taking on a player like that on loan? I thought it was going to be a good thing. I thought he'd come in little by little and start to grow as a back to the old him a little bit. He's right. He's not wrong. No, Mauricio's not wrong. He's right. And I know why. It's because these clubs, for financial fair play, PSG doesn't want to pay the whole fee, so they include a player on loan to decrease the fee, and that was part of the João deal, and they took Renato on loan, and you know, it's not gonna. I don't have much hope right now that it's gonna result in anything. In January, they got to go get a right back. They got to go get another 6 to compete with Tino, and they got to get probably another wide player. I don't know. I mean,
injuries. A lot of wide players, man.
Yeah, but they're all the same. This is the problem. We're at a point now where Sheldrup and Best have replaced Rollheiser and Prestiani. Something's happened because Rollheiser's disappeared. I know Prestiani picked up an injury in the U18s or U20s, but
with Rollheiser, man, I thought he was great, man. Also, I remember when they signed him, I was I was so excited because I saw him play in Estudiantes in Copa Libertadores, in Copa Sudamericana. You know, he was a beast.
Yeah.
But he hasn't got enough minutes. I'm gonna put this on his defense. He hasn't enough minutes under Roger Smith, and he's not getting the same minutes either under Bruno Lage this season.
I heard rumblings. People think something might have happened on the training ground, and that's why he's out of favor. I don't know for sure, but I have heard people suggest that. But I don't have a better explanation. So, I mean, those two guys were crucial under Schmidt, and they've disappeared now. So both Argentines. So I don't know. You know, Sheldrup's getting his minutes and Best when he comes on, he produces. So he could be making the right choice. I don't know. We'll see as the season goes on, and you know, Benfica just has to keep plugging away, has to keep getting results, and hopefully start playing better. After this Porto game is another international break, which just breaks up everything.
I hate those international breaks.
It's another cup
the
round.
Cup when you get back too.
It's the cup when you get back. So
one more, right?
It's
this is the last one of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the last one of the year, or there's another one,
until
right?
March. This is the last one.
Thank goodness.
And so now, from the end of November to March, that's where you really have to start playing well and really have to get some momentum and string together some wins. Right now, it's about surviving until you get there.
Yeah.
I'm obviously not all that optimistic about this weekend, but I'm hopeful that we can muster something out. But
winter is coming.
Really
winter is coming.
Yeah.
And Lige has a really hard job on his hands. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
I mean, at least tomorrow's game for me is a bonus. I mean, anything you take away from that is a bonus. You're supposed to lose. So I mean,
the mathematicians are saying it's going to take like 8 to 9 points to get to 24th place. So somewhere in these last 5 matches, there has to be a win somewhere. It doesn't have to be tomorrow. So I'm not. If the game goes well and it starts to look like you may be able to get something, then maybe you start making some adjustments and saying, hey, maybe this is our day. Let's go get it. But I would go in and just try to keep Bayern off the board as long as possible. If they come in and Harry Kane scores 2 in the first 10 minutes, you know, it could easily be a 5 or 6-0 game. And it's happened to Benfica before. They go in.
You're playing away, right? Mikey, you're playing away, right?
Yeah, away.
That's
the way Feyenoord came in and scored, you know, just a few minutes into the game. If that happens tomorrow, it's going to be a massacre. That can't happen tomorrow.
Playing in Germany is so tough.
It's so tough. Exactly.
There's always 80,000 people in the stadium. And it just goes so fast. Sporting's had some horror show games in Germany.
And Bayern's desperate for a win. Bayern has to win tomorrow because they're on 3 points right now. So it's not a good spot to be.
So they're going to push it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey guys, a quick question here. Are you how about Sunday? Are you guys gonna be watching the game, or you got any plans for Sunday? Because
I should be around Sunday.
Depends.
Depends.
Doing
Yeah,
a
my
preview.
kids, yeah,
I should be available. Yeah.
I should be. My kids playing high school soccer right now. They're in the state semifinals.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
nice.
if they win, they'll be the championship game on Sunday.
On Sunday at
yeah.
what time?
Yeah, so we'll see. It'll probably be like a noon time. But yeah, they're the underdogs heading into the semifinals. So yeah, we'll see.
It's 3:45 the game, right? 3:45.
Yeah,
I think so.
Now we got the same time, guys. Now we got the same time.
Yeah, we're back to normal.
It's a pivotal game, man. It's a pivotal game. I with my kids, because they're playing at home. I think they cannot afford to lose.
No, exactly.
I don't think Benfica can afford to lose this game.
Not at all. A draw is tough, but you can come back from it.
At least you can come back from that. I think a loss.
At least to fight for second place, you can come back from a draw. Yeah, it's 3:45 kickoff.
Yeah, so a loss.
Right?
A loss.
Yeah. They're extreme on the phone, Derek. You can stream on the phone, man. You can stream from the bleachers. Huh?
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah,
I did that when I was in Philadelphia at WrestleMania. I was in the car. Remember, I was in the car.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
We'll see how Thursday night goes. The semifinals on Thursday night, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah.
So what are the semifinals, Derek?
Semifinals. It's Thursday at 5. We're playing at
5.
We're playing at a neutral site. Well, he's just a freshman, so nice. He plays probably like 10-15 minutes a game. But yeah, it's his freshman. He made varsity
as a freshman. That's
what
great.
Position?
Yeah. He's a cam. Yeah, he plays as a number 10. He plays as a number 10.
Attacking mid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's an attacking midfielder. Yeah. He's tiny, but so it's like when you some of these kids, man, it's scary.
With the ball.
These kids are like these 16, 17-year-olds now. They're 6'1", 6'2". I don't know how what happened. These are big dudes now. But he's
my nephew is fucking 6'3", man. Jesus.
Yeah. These guys are pretty good on. He's pretty good on the ball. Good passer. Finding spaces and he's just a good dribbler, good penetrator and stuff.
Look at this guy, so humble. Bro, he plays fantastic soccer. I can tell you that, man. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Give me the games, bro. Give me the games.
You got it.
Predictions.
Here we go.
It's time for predictions here on Tuga Tuesdays, as every week. To close the show, we do the predictions. So we're gonna kick it off with who?
All right.
Who's playing first, Mikey?
Friday, Moreirense, Gil Vicente.
Didn't Gil Vicente just have a bad loss? Right?
Damn, I think so.
I think they had a bad loss.
2-1. 2-1. Gil Vicente.
I'll take Moreirense at home. I'll take Moreirense at home here. 2-1.
Yeah, I'll take Moreirense at home. Yeah, I'm gonna go 2-1 Moreirense.
Saturday, Casa Pia Farense.
No.
Can they both lose?
That game? Tell me I don't have that game. Hold on a second. Let me check my.
It's early. It's at 10:30 in the morning.
If it's that early, I don't have it. Let me.
Share.
What is the thing?
3:30 Portuguese time.
I know. I got Uruguay on that one. I got everything.
Yeah.
So Casapia, it's 0-0.
I think it's 0-0. Yeah.
I'll give him 1-1, but that I ran all over it.
All right.
What's next?
Estoril AVS Football Sad.
Oh.
This isn't much.
That's another one. Oh.
Man. But even when Rui hates Estoril, I think they're gonna win 1-0.
Yeah, I think I can see a 1-0. They get won by Ochoa.
Yeah, I think Estrella wins 1-0. I think AVS is definitely headed down a very steep slope right now.
Mhm.
I know.
Yeah, they're not looking. They are not looking good. No.
Yeah. Famalicão, Aroca.
Oh.
Not a bad one.
No, it's not too bad.
I say 2-1 Famalicão at home.
I said 3-1 Famalicão. 3.
I'll go 2-1 Fama. I thought Aroca did okay against Braga.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they showed some fight. Braga, I think.
Yeah.
They did.
Okay.
Mike, what do you say?
Boa Vista home against Rio Ave at the night game on Saturday. The late one.
Boa Vista Rio Ave. In Vila do Conde?
No, in at Boa Vista.
Boa Vista. Give one to Boa Vista, all right? Let's get it one to Boa Vista. I'm going to say 1-0 Boa Vista.
I'll go 1-1.
I'm going to go 1-0 Boa Vista. Yeah. Yeah, I think
right.
Rio Ave is such a mess. I feel really bad. They fired the coach.
They fired Freire, yeah.
They fired him, yeah.
They fired Lucho?
They fired Lucho. I mean, and Ruben, about a month ago when they fired Felipe Martins, it was the same thing, where it's like these clubs, they put together these new teams, there's no chemistry, they don't give these guys a chance to gel, and they blame the coach. And I think the same thing happened here. It's just, it's unfair.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
All right. We got Sunday, Estrela Amadora Nacional.
These games
This
they
is a
just
rough
keep on
week.
getting uglier and uglier.
This is a rough week.
Brother. We're gonna have the lowest scoring the weekend of the season, man.
Nacional is gonna win 1-0 on the road.
Who Nacional?
Nacional is gonna get an upset. I don't know if it's an upset, but they're gonna get a road win here.
I'm gonna give it to Estrella. 1-0. 1-0 to Estrella.
I'll go 1-1 on that one.
All right. Santa Clara, Vitória Guimarães.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's a good game, brother.
I didn't realize.
Yeah, Santa
I have that game. I have that one. That's the one I have for the Clásico. They lost, and they're gonna bounce back. They're gonna win. Santa Clara's gonna win. They're gonna bounce back and win. They're gonna win.
You know, I kind of agree. I think Santa Clara is gonna win 2-1.
It's gonna be like it's gonna be 2-1. It's gonna be a hard fought. I think a game. I'm not sure if Guimarães has to play on Thursday, but
I think I can check. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do they?
Let's see.
Should,
I'm
right?
pulling it up. I think so. Where are we? Fixtures. Yes, they play some team I've never heard of. They're at home though on Thursday. So
I think this is affecting their league form though.
Oh yeah.
Competition. Yeah, they've been pretty inconsistent.
With this schedule this week, I might be the only one watching the league in the States.
Yeah, probably.
Well, it gets the schedule gets good.
Yeah, you got 2 main events though.
2 huge. It's a double main event.
Main event. Yeah, 2 main events.
Braga versus Sporting at the Quarry.
I'm gonna go.
I still think Sporting.
3-1.
3-1 Sporting. I think Ruben's last
game.
I think they win 2-1. I think it's Ruben's last game. They win it, and they tied their club record, and then Ruben rides off into the sunset. A winner.
Oh heck yeah, absolutely, brother. Yeah, no doubt. But Mikey, what do you say on that one?
3-0 Sporting. I think they keep rolling. After the highs
Braga,
today, I think they keep rolling.
I'm assuming Braga has to play on Thursday too,
and that's another reason.
Yeah, Braga has to play.
Actually, they may play tomorrow. Let me check.
Yeah,
because them and Vitória are so close geographically that they sometimes play on Wednesday. Let's see here. Braga. November 7th. No, they play Thursday, and they're away.
And they're
away traveling. They're going to like Sweden or something. Elfsborg.
Oh, that's yeah.
Yeah, so they got a lot of travel in there too. Yeah, it doesn't look good for Braga.
They've been really inconsistent too. So
yeah. And then it's the Clásico after that.
The Clásico. You know what? I think it's gonna be wild.
I think it's
it's
gonna be
gonna be
wild.
wild.
I think it's going to be wild too.
I think it's gonna be a crazy
Okay.
game.
And I think your beloved Benfica is gonna win 3-2. That's how I see it.
Ooh. I was going to say 2-2. I think it's.
I was honestly gonna say 2-2 as well.
Yeah,
That's-
this
it's gonna be
feels like it's
crazy
going to be.
intense game.
Yeah.
It's gonna be there may be some cards.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It probably doesn't finish 11-11.
Yeah, this is gonna be an intense game. Yeah, it's gonna be a wild game.
One of the Turkish men is gonna be out. One of the two.
Mm. Yeah,
Hopefully not. But
yeah, the tempers will definitely come to the surface.
Yeah.
And then that's it until November 29th.
Oh,
29th.
right. No,
Yeah.
I know.
It's killing
At
me.
least the first game for João Pereira will be against Amarante. The Taça. So that's a nice way
First
to
place
ease
in the Liga 3.
Yeah. it's a good way to ease
Yeah.
you never
Ease
know.
your way in.
Ease your way
It's
into
it's at home though, right? Is it at Alvalade?
it's at the Alvalade, yeah.
Yeah. So you should be fine.
Should be fine.
Yeah.
All right, guys. All the
right.
games.
All right, boys.
All the games.
Yeah, another good episode.
We're excited here to be in another week on our beloved Liga Portugal. We'll see you next Tuesday to talk about that wild Clásico at Estadio da Luz. And to see if, not to see if, it's going
Got to get those guys here though.
the record, best record for your Lions, buddy. 11 for 11.
Go 11 for 11.
We're going to talk about that on Tuesday, next Tuesday. This is it.
Next
My
Tuesday.
vecino, delegado, vecino, todos. I'm saying goodbye. See you next
Tuesday,
week.
guys.
Hey,
Take care.
See you guys.